Hello! We're here at the Wilderness Lodge and we're on a quest.
This is the first day of a 2-day Mother's Day cupcake crawl. We're pretty excited.
First, we're going to head down to the Roaring Fork here at the Wilderness Lodge. And we're going to get a cupcake there and maybe get a little bit of lunch. So come on, join our quest and we'll have some cupcakes. On our way down to the Roaring Fork, we've run into Pluto and Goofy. We've made it down to the Roaring Fork and we're ready to get our food. Roaring Fork currently doesn't have any plates we can use. So we took some of the empty boxes and unfolded them and we're going to use those for plates.
For lunch, I decided to have the chicken and waffles. They are Mickey waffles, so they're the really thick ones, which does make it a little difficult to get the right proportion of chicken to waffle. But Mickey waffles used to not be so good. They're much, much better now. The chicken was just a basic chicken tender, but they were tasty, very crunchy coating. It comes with a pecan nut butter. I don't remember seeing cinnamon on the description, but the absolute overpowering flavor is cinnamon. And it's not very sweet. So I went ahead and got some breakfast syrup because usually chicken and waffles is a little bit sweeter. All of them together, a little bit of syrup, waffle, chicken, and pecan butter were pretty good, but honestly, I kind of think the nut butter didn't add that much. It's okay. If you get a big enough bit of it, you can taste the pecan, but really, mostly it's the cinnamon. So I think I'd rather have it without. I did try a few bites without, and I kind of like those better. But for basic counter service chicken and waffles, I'd probably get these again.
And I had a 10-hour pulled pork sandwich with slaw on top of it. And it came with fries. The fries were okay, they're pretty good. All Disney fries are pretty good. The pulled pork sandwich was a little better than I expected. It's not really barbecue, but it has been cooked for a long time and it was delicious, it was tender. I really enjoyed it.
The first cupcake on our 2-day cupcake crawl is they just call it the Mother's Day cupcake. It is a tres leches cupcake with vanilla buttercream and a chocolate butterfly. Now, after our last experience with tres leches cakes here at Disney, we're a little bit hesitant, but if we're going to try all the cupcakes for Mother's Day, we've got to try this one too. Take off the little chocolate butterfly. At least it doesn't have one of those awful cardboard sleeves on it. But since they call it a cupcake, and it's not really, you see it's much flatter. It does make it fit into their plastic containers a lot better.
But it is really big around. It's bigger around looking than I'm used to seeing a Disney cupcake.
Well, it's very dry for a tres leches. We all know that tres leches are supposed to be very moist. Okay, I've already tasted the buttercream and it's plain buttercream. It's not special at all. I don't believe I'm even going to finish that. It is a plain, very plain yellow cake with a very plain buttercream. This almost tastes like just a store-bought, like almost a packaged cake. And I mean packaged like Little Debbie packaged. I'm actually really glad we came here first, because if this had been the closing cupcake, I would have been really, really disappointed. So I'm going to save my calories and the rest of my body from all of that sugar and hope that the next treat is much better.
Well, real tres leches I love. Three Bridges really disappointed me. After hearing Elizabeth's comments on the cupcake, I'm really kind of hesitant about this, but I'll give it a try. This is not a tres leches. Tres leches means 3 milks. I think the only milk they put in this was to hold the batter together. It's not a bad cupcake, but it's not a tres leches. It's just sort of named wrong. I know they call it a Mother's Day cupcake, but they also call it a tres leches. This is not a tres leches. It's just sort of yellow cake with buttercream on top. It doesn't taste bad. I mean, there's no bad taste to it. It's just very middle of the road. Usually at Roaring Forks, we get some pretty good cupcakes here. Am I disappointed? Yes. Is this what I expected from something they called a tres leches after three bridges? It's pretty much what I expected. From the Wilderness Lodge, we're going to take the launch over to the Contemporary Resort. Apparently the launch to the Contemporary Resort is not running at this time. So instead, I guess we'll take the launch to the Magic Kingdom. We'll be traveling on the Mermaid 1. Well, we've made it to the Magic Kingdom, but we're not going to stay at the Magic Kingdom. They don't have a Mother's Day cupcake. We're going to take the monorail over to the Contemporary Resort. Here at the Contemporary, they're refreshing the rooms, and look at all the tarts.
Now we're here at the Contemporary Resort in their Contempo Cafe, their quick service. Their special cupcake for Mother's Day is a red velvet cupcake with a cream cheese filling and cream cheese buttercream icing, topped with sprinkles and a Mother's Day plaque. Well, it's a white chocolate printed on. They don't say anything about the rose on top. So we've already had 2 roses on 2 cupcakes. Let's see if that trend continues. I guess rose cupcakes are for mothers. Okay, so first off, I can't really cut it inside their little petal-shaped cupcake platter. And you'll notice we do not have our cake slicer. I wanted to travel light today because we're going to all these different resorts. Now, one thing about the Contempo is they put their cupcakes in the refrigerator.
Yeah, and we couldn't cut through that last rose either.
This one I think is just frosting, but because it's cold, I honestly can't even get it off. Go away, Rose. You're annoying. Now, in the past, we have had a problem with these cold cupcakes collapsing on us as we try to divide them. You know what? They said sprinkles, and I don't see sprinkles. They've got dots, but it's okay. Sprinkles, we're not going to add anything to this. Cold cupcake means the filling is cold and it's trying to pull away from the cake. That's a red velvet cupcake. I taste no cream cheese in that. It's just buttercream. So let's see if we can get in here to some of this filling. There's more of it than there have been in some cupcakes, but not as much as they probably should put in. That's much better. With the filling, that's quite a good cupcake. So again, if they just had a little more filling, their cupcake would be better. Here's an interesting find. I just realized because I had the cupcake facing downwards, so it's easier to eat. But this is cupcake all the way up to the top. So instead of being piled high with mounds of buttercream, it has what I consider a pretty good cake to frosting ratio, at least when it's a fairly plain frosting like this one. I actually put this a little above middle of the road. The only reason I really wouldn't get it again is I'm not the world's greatest red velvet fan when it's the chocolate version. Once again, Gideon's version beats everything else I've ever had, but it's not bad.
I think the problem I'm going to have with this cupcake has nothing to do with the cupcake and everything to do with how much I love the red velvet cake from Gideon's, which is delightful and I highly recommend it to everybody. So let's see how this one stacks up. This cupcake is very pretty. I like it, but it's middle of the road at best. Once you get into the center with the slightly sweetened cream cheese, it's a little better. It's a chocolate cupcake with frosting on top. It's okay. Is it fabulous? No. Is it bad? No, it's not bad either. And now we're going to get back on the monorail and take it over to the TTC and walk over to the Polynesian.
Now we are over in the Polynesian in Captain Cook's, again the quick service. Theirs is a butterfly cupcake, a chocolate cake with raspberry mousse filling and buttercream icing. And I think so far, it is just about the prettiest we've seen. It is really nice.
And look how it matches her fingernails.
I didn't plan that. I really didn't.
Of course you didn't.
No, I didn't. I just chose the blue last night because it looked like a good color. I'm not even going to be in any UV light rides, and these glow. Well, so far I've managed to get that one out without getting frosting all over myself. We have to cut this down the middle so we each have a butterfly. I hope y'all can see that this one has sparkles. They have edible glitter on this. Again, it's been in the cooler. I think probably all of them do keep their cupcakes in the fridge.
Ooh, look how pretty it is inside.
It's beautiful, but you know what? That does not look like raspberry mousse.
It's yellow raspberry.
We have a mystery.
Ooh.
Have to do a little sleuthing here. Basic dark chocolate cupcake, but it is dark chocolate.
Yellow raspberry?
No, it's passion fruit. I had to make sure. It's passion fruit. I love passion fruit. Okay, I've never actually eaten a regular crushed passion fruit, but I love the juice. Let's put it that way.
We live in the subtropics. We'll have to get you a passion fruit.
The passion fruit mousse really takes over the chocolate, which is okay by me because I'm really, really enjoying. I'm not sure I'd really call it a mousse, but it is really nice. So far, this is my favorite by far.
Well, I'm a little disappointed. I haven't tried it yet, but I really like raspberry. So, passion fruit's okay, but I like raspberry. Let's see how I like the cake. Okay, the passion fruit center adds a little tartness to the chocolate cake. It's pretty good. I would have liked raspberry. But mostly what you taste when you eat it with the cake is the passion fruit, which is okay, but it does sort of overpower the chocolate. So I'd like to say one other thing. This is absolutely the prettiest cupcake we've had today. So is it very pretty? Yes. Would I have liked it better with raspberry? Yeah, I think I would have.
Still here in the Polynesian, but now over the Pineapple and I, no, we're still sitting in Captain Cook's. It's air conditioned.
And this is not a cupcake.
This is not a cupcake. This is the Key Lime Pie Sundae. It's key lime soft serve, graham cracker crumbs, or crust it says, blood orange mango jam, which I assume is the swirl on top. It says topped with a macaron. This is actually a little white chocolate plaque again. It says Mom. And they gave us a little edible orchid on there just to really dress it up. There are also some crispy pearls on there, but they didn't say a flavor. All I'm really getting there is the key lime because it's quite tart. So I don't know if the blood orange mango is really worth it. And I actually kind of wish the crispy pearls weren't there because sometimes my teeth are a little sensitive to cold. So if I have to chew it, I'd rather not. The jam is really just kind of faintly sweet. So I think it's more for contrast than anything else.
Well, I love key lime. So here's looking at you, kid. One thing we noticed when we started eating this is in true Dole Whip form, it's hollow on the inside. Well, the lime soft serve is delicious. The blood orange mango, you can't taste it, but it's very pretty up there, so that's what it's there for. I don't see any graham cracker anywhere.
Look at the bottom. It's a crust.
By the time you get down to that, you're not going to have any soft serve on top of it. It is way down at the bottom.
Hey, it's key lime soft serve.
Okay, that can't be bad. I'm not personally going to eat the orchid, but it's very beautiful. So, I like key lime. I'm enjoying this. We say aloha to the Polynesian, and now we're headed over to the Grand Floridian. We've made it over to the Grand Floridian and the Gasparilla Island Grill.
For the 5th and final treat of today.
But only for today.
Only for today. We've got this tomorrow too. Grand Floridian's Gasparilla Island Grill has created a Mimosa miniature gateau. It's champagne-infused sponge cake with orange-scented mousse topped with a white chocolate slipper. It sounds amazing, and it really does have real champagne in it because you have to check the box on the mobile order to say you are 21 or over. So, first we're just going to take this glass slipper off. It's white chocolate, but it's painted gold and it's sparkly, which means Art will have yet more glitter on his face.
Well, I always glow when I'm around you.
Okay, so that is quite a large amount of their orange mousse in there. That looks promising. I think that's really a good way to try just a little part. Let's see if I can get just a little piece of the cake. But there's not much cake really. Look, this tiny little there and then this little bit here. So I'm not sure I taste the champagne. It is a good white cake. Now we've had other things that said scented, like this orange scented mousse, which usually means it's a lighter flavor. It is lighter, but it's definitely orange. It's lovely. So maybe I don't mind that the cake doesn't have a lot of champagne flavor. Oh, I have purple glittery fingers now. All I'm really tasting is the orange, but it's really nice orange. And I'm not sure where the champagne is, but you can feel that little alcohol burn. So I know it's in there and it's definitely noticeable. It's just not beating out the orange flavor. But I am really enjoying this one.
Usually on Disney Treats, they give you a whole lot of the cake and a little bitty bit of the filling. This one, on the other hand, is almost all filling and just little bitty slivers of cake. Let's see how it is. Hey, that's pretty good. I like that. It's not overpowering. The texture's nice. This is a winner. This is definitely the best thing we've had today. Wow, I hope it goes uphill from here tomorrow.
Well, good morning, Bearly, from outside Hollywood Studios. It is day 2 of our Mother's Day treat crawl.
Day 2.
We're here for transportation purposes. We're headed to the Yacht Beach Club first.
We've made it to the Yacht Beach Club and we're headed in to get our first Mother's Day treat of the day. The main attraction here at the Beach Club is the pool, but we're here for a Mother's Day treat. And although the Yacht and Beach Club are connected, we're actually going to the Yacht Club. So here at the Yacht Club, our first treat is coming from the market at the Ale and Compass.
Our first treat is here at the Yacht Club. There were supposed to be 2 treats here. One was Sweeter Than Roses, which was a raspberry mousse on a chocolate hazelnut cake. That one is not on any of the mobile order menus now. What has replaced it is a lemon eclair with raspberry icing of some sort, but it doesn't say it's a special Mother's Day treat. So I think we might be skipping that. The official Mother's Day treat is the Mother's Day Bouquet cupcake. Red velvet cupcake filled with rich chocolate mousse and topped with buttercream flowers. It's a very pretty cake. They're just simple swirl flowers, but it's pretty. Almost an Eastery sort of look. So, now you know us some red velvet cake if you've been watching us at all. Actually, just earlier in this video, since we went out yesterday first. But putting chocolate mousse inside actually sounds rather interesting. So, let's see. I really, really wish they wouldn't put so much buttercream on and then put the cupcakes in the cooler, because I can't tell you how many times I've tried to cut through one of these and the cupcake has just collapsed. Not a lot of filling. Better than some, certainly nothing like Grand Floridian's champagne cake, the Mimosa miniature gateau. plain buttercream. It's a little better than some of the ones we had yesterday though. It's not, I don't know, overly fatty. It's a pretty dry red velvet. The chocolate mousse is actually quite good. You can taste the cocoa, but there's so little of it, it's kind of hard to get it together with the cake so I can try it. You know, when you're paying $6 for a cupcake, they really shouldn't be so chintzy with the fillings. Oh well. The mousse is really very good with the cake. And since the cake is so dry, it really needs more of that mousse. But I think there's going to be maybe 2 bites of cupcake with mousse in it. Flavors put together pretty well. That's got to be the driest red velvet cupcake I've ever had. And it's 10 till 1 right now. So I wouldn't think they've been sitting around that long. I don't know though. There were only 2 in the case, so does that mean they've been sitting there since yesterday? I don't know. But it's not a bad cupcake, and I will probably finish this one, but not all that buttercream. That's a lot of buttercream for that little bit of cake. Well, let's just say the ratios are all wrong on this one.
Well, the cupcake is very red, so it is a red velvet cupcake. We'll see what I think about this one. I'm ready for it to be let down just a hair. Oh, that's dry.
Uh-huh.
The chocolate flavor is pretty good, but it's very dry. Try it with some of the frosting on top. Maybe that will add a little moisture to it or something, help it slide down. Well, that's better, but it's not the best buttercream frosting I've ever had either. I still haven't had any of the mousse because there's so little of it. You really got to dig into the cupcake to get to it. Okay, the mousse is pretty good. I like the texture. It's nice and creamy, but it doesn't make up for the fact that the cake is very dry. Dry cake, okay, mousse in the center, but not much of it. Frosting is middle of the road. So, this is an okay cupcake, but are we celebrating Mom?
I think this is another one where execution did not live up to design.
I agree. So now that we finished that cupcake, we're going to get back on the boat and take it back to Hollywood Studios so we can get on the Skyliner to our next destination. We've made it to the Skyliner. Both Pop Century and the Art of Animation have the same Mother's Day cupcake. We think we're going to head over to the Art of Animation, but we could change our mind. Well, I said we might change our minds, and we have. We're going to try Pop Century instead because we haven't been there for a while. We've arrived at Hourglass Lake, and we're headed over to Pop Century.
We are currently at Pop Century's food court. They call it Everything Pop. Today's cupcake here is the Sweet Blossom Cupcake. Vanilla cupcake with marshmallow creme filling, topped with strawberry buttercream, white chocolate flower blossoms, and sprinkles. Well, this one definitely has sprinkles on it. Unfortunately, it also is in one of these little hard paper cases that I just love so much. Oh, look! Loads of filling again. Seriously, guys? It's a lot of frosting per cake and not a lot of filling. It almost has a Twinkie flavor, so my guess is the marshmallow creme is gonna make it really taste like a Twinkie. If I can just find some. It doesn't taste like marshmallow so much. It tastes like a Twinkie. And since I've never had Twinkie with strawberry buttercream, admittedly, anytime you flavor something with strawberry extract, whatever, it tends to come out tasting a little bit like strawberry quick. I always kind of like strawberry quick, so that's not a bad thing. The cupcake is really very nice and moist. Like I said, almost like a Twinkie, so it's similar to a sponge cake in the feel. And again, since I like that strawberry quick flavor, I'm actually really enjoying this. It's not what I was expecting, but I like it, yeah. I don't love it, I'm afraid, so I don't hate this. It's actually pretty tasty. It's not quite what I expected, but compared to what we had over at the Yacht Club, this is much better than that. So far, it's probably third on my list of all the treats we've had so far. If you love strawberry quick, you love Twinkies, this is probably your cupcake. If you'd rather have something with fresh fruit, maybe not.
Well, Elizabeth seems to think that this tastes like a Twinkie. Well, I grew up in Kansas City, which is the home of Hostess Cupcakes, who makes Twinkies. So I kind of like Twinkies, so I may really enjoy this one. Well, not exactly like a Twinkie, a little denser than that. Still quite a nice flavor. I really enjoy it. I haven't had any of the filling yet. Well, that's pretty good with the filling. I enjoy that. Haven't tried it with the strawberry topping yet. I do believe they make a Twinkie now with strawberry filling, so we'll have to check it out.
I actually have. It's pretty similar.
That's pretty good too. Let's see if I can get some with the filling, the frosting, and the cake. Mission accomplished. That's not awful either. So, this is actually a pretty good cupcake. I like it. It's not dry. Flavors go well together. I like this cupcake. So it's back to the Skyliner one more time so we can go all the way back to the Hollywood studios, get our car, and head over to Saratoga Springs for our final cupcake. Our last stop on our Mother's Day challenge is Saratoga Springs.
Our final treat of the day. We have come to Disney Saratoga Springs Resort to the Artist's Palette, a vanilla cupcake with peach compote, spiced vanilla buttercream peach mousse, and a white chocolate hat. Now, all of these cupcakes are $5.99. Just a reminder, that's the same price as a Gideon's cookie. Well, there's the spiced peach. They just said peach compote, but it looks like it's got a little spice to it. I love peaches, so I think it sounds pretty good. Again, not a whole lot of filling, but because it's peaches, maybe I can get a chunk. So it's just a vanilla cake. Again, almost like a sponge cake. Not quite, but it's got that very light texture. And it's definitely more vanilla than the cake was over at Pop Century. So this one does not taste like a Twinkie. But that's supposed to be the spiced peach buttercream mousse. All I'm really tasting is the cinnamon buttercream. But it's pretty nice. I hate to eat very much of this compote. It's good though. I wish there were more of it. Where have you heard that before? The cinnamon and the buttercream seems to really take over. So it's probably not fair unless I actually get a chunk of the peach. I'm glad they didn't put too much buttercream on here because that really would have been completely overpowering. That is delightful. The peach comes through, which again is great for me. I love peaches. I think we did it again. I think we moved up in flavor as we changed each resort today. I don't think we beat the gateau from yesterday, but at least we've ended on a pretty high note. I would mark this as my second favorite cupcake or treat of the, yes, second favorite. The Key Lime Pie Sundae comes in third. Oh, that is the spiced peach mousse. It's very light. That's delightful. I am really, really enjoying this treat, but now I'm gonna try and divide this mousse up so Art can try some too.
I think I've said it on some of my other videos that I am probably the only person in the world who is not very fond of peaches. I had a peach dessert at the Flower and Garden that I really enjoyed and I did not expect to. So maybe this will be good too, or maybe my taste is changing. You never know. That's not too bad. I kind of like it. The texture of the cake is entirely different than it was at Pop Century. It's still a sort of a sponge cake, but it's a little looser and a little coarser, but I like it. And the filling, okay, maybe my tastes are changing. The peach is really not too bad.
Well, that's a glowing endorsement.
Frosting is 100% cinnamon. Try a little of the mousse. Quite nice. Maybe I do like peaches. This is a good cupcake. I really like it, and I'll probably get it again sometime, but I'm not going to because it's only available on Mother's Day weekend.
So a final wrap up of the second day of Mother's Day treats. We're here at Saratoga Springs.
And full of sugar.
Full of sugar. And we did it again. This was the best cupcake of the day. We lucked out.
It was really good. One note though, Pop Century, I can't recommend staying there. They need some major repairs in the food court. The bathroom needed some work. The towel dispensers were not up to snuff. So stay away from Pop Century, other than the fact that the food court has a really great manager.
Eddie's awesome, and we've stayed at Pop Century before. I think it just hasn't had much love lately. It probably is due for refurbishment.
Yeah, I would think so. And it's not like Disney to let things go like that, but I guess the pandemic.
I think I'm going to have to say that Grand Floridian definitely wins for the total cupcake battle.
Not even a question.
But this one was a really, really good cupcake too.
Saratoga Springs, and you know, I may have to change my opinion of peaches.
So we know that Mother's Day weekend is now officially over and you can't get these treats, but you need to see the kinds of things that Disney does for weekends like Mother's Day, Earth Day, celebrations that you don't usually think of as being major treat days. They go all out anyway. So anytime there's some sort of a celebration, make sure to check all of the different posts you can find from Disney, from DFB, from any place else. Look up special treats.
We did go to Earth Day at Animal Kingdom and had cupcakes, and you can see what those were like over on Instagram.
Our Life Go posted at least photos. I don't remember reviews, but I at least had photos of them, and they were gorgeous and they were fun, and we were full of sugar that day too.
So if you enjoyed this video, give us a big thumbs up. That's the like button. That'll really help us out. If you haven't already, subscribe, leave messages. We love messages, and we try to get back to you as soon as possible. We are also on social media.
You heard the Instagram, Our Life Go. We also have a Facebook page. I'm trying to post more of our sort of down and dirty, almost live reviews of things. Especially if Gideon's has something special, that's where it goes, is on our Facebook page. If you're not on Facebook and you still want to hear something about those things, come on over to Instagram and shoot me a message and I'll tell you all about it, or maybe even just send you the link to the video.
Yes, she will. And with that said, I'm Art.
I'm Elizabeth.
And this is Our Life on the Go.